This is the Family Juhls. As always, I am Drew. This is my Uncle Don.
Hello!
Today we are going to be reviewing Infinity Pool.
It's a hell of a pool. It must be really deep. Yeah. And weird.
It's a slow week in horror. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah. So, Infinity Pool, it did come out this year in 2023. It is rated R. It is listed as a sci-fi horror. They always say this. I don't know why it's listed as a horror. I wouldn't have said it was a horror, but whatever. It is an hour and 58 minutes long. That's a little bit past Don's ideal runtime.
Don't forget the 13 seconds.
Yeah. It is only available to watch currently, to rent or to buy digitally. So it's not available anywhere else. So if you're that jonesing to watch it, you gotta buy it. It does hold an 86% in Rotten Tomatoes. As always, we always say don't go off that. We just throw that out as a baseline. The film is written and directed by Brandon Cronenberg. He is the son of legendary filmmaker David Cronenberg, who is most famous for his body horror films. This is Brandon's third film. Really, though, kind of his first commercial big film. The film does most notably star Alexander Skarsgård of True Blood fame, Mia Goth, who's getting pretty big in the horror field. She was recently in X and Pearl. Cleopatra Coleman. I know her from the television show Last Man on Earth.
Go Pi-Fi! Go! Woo!
There's a little background on the film itself. Brandon Cronenberg wrote the original screenplay for Infinity Pool. He developed the story from an actual experience he had on an unsatisfying vacation. I don't know what experience he had, but I can't believe it would be anything like what's actually in this film. So the plot follows a struggling writer, Alexander Skarsgård character, and his wife, Cleopatra Coleman's character. Their names are James and M. Foster. While on vacation at an all-inclusive beach resort on the fictional island of Latoka, a fatal car accident exposes the resort's perverse subculture of hedonistic tourism, reckless violence, and surreal horrors. And that is your plot synopsis. I apologize if that was quick. I was just trying to get that done and out of the way so we can really get into the meat of this film.
It does happen that way. It does happen.
So fun facts.
Fun facts? I'm all over fun facts for this movie. Okay, so fun facts. If you sit back and watch this movie at home or in the theater, the best thing you can do, fun fact, is when you have to get up to take a pee or get a beer, just let it keep playing.
Don't come back.
Yeah. No. Well. Yeah. Okay. It's not that bad.
Yeah. Well, let's just get into it. What you want me to go with positives, or you want to?
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Was that accidental, or were you trying to quote TLC on purpose?
I don't even understand the reference.
There's a couple positives. This movie really does have one thing going for it, and it's that it keeps you guessing.
Yeah, you told me about the misdirection.
It's amazing, but that's up to you at the end of the movie whether they did it correctly or not.
See, I would. For me, they do have misdirection, but there's times where I don't know if it's good because sometimes it misleads you somewhere, thinking like, "Oh, that would be cool,"
yes.
But then it doesn't.
Yes.
It doesn't do anything with where it's leading you, so it's kind of.
So even if it makes sense,
yeah.
even the misdirection makes sense, it still ends up at a brick wall.
Yeah. So for my positive, I think we talked about it. I think this is kind of a positive for you too.
What?
But that was Mia Goth. Her character, her acting, like she was great. I think
she was. After
watching X and Pearl and some of her earlier horror films, I think she's the reigning queen of horror right now. Like she is just. She should be doing. I don't even feel like we deserve her in the genre because she's so good. I think she should be doing other movies where she can be getting awards because I think she's just that great.
She is amazing. She really is that one. Well, okay. I love the idea that you pointed her out.
Girl, right there.
She's amazing. Now, This guy, I am going to give him a lot of credit too, because he had to play a lot of parts.
Yeah. You can say, I think they say in the trailer what. Yeah,
well,
they say in the trailer.
He keeps getting cloned over and over and over. But every time his new clone comes up, it's a little bit different. It ain't mental, really. It's not clothes. It's just how the other people that are around him, the interaction of the other club members, the resort members, treated it, and they figured out a way to make the original, not the clones, the original guy, freaking make him feel.
He was awesome in this film too. I'm not trying to take away from him, but just when you have Mia Goth giving such a good performance, it kind of overshadows the other good performances. Oh yeah, but no, he was good in it too. If I had to really pick out one thing, it would definitely be the acting. For sure, was really good.
Partial spoiler alert: if you gave me a hand to this movie in the beginning,
you leave me hanging?
No, not that kind of hand. If you gave me a hand in the beginning of something like this movie, I'd probably have followed her around too.
Someone's up.
I'm up.
Morning.
I'm up and at 'em. Don't do that with your face.
Yes. No, I'm too old for that shit.
So going into Conflicted.
Because I don't want no scrubs.
Really?
No.
You're not aware that's a TLC song?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So you kind of touched on a Conflicted that would have been for me is the misdirection wasn't as good as I thought.
But it's kind of like a positive. It's kind of a positive. The misdirection was, I'm not going to lie to you. It was kind of a positive, but it really, at the end, it went back to way negative. Yeah. It really didn't. It didn't work out.
Oh, I think we did actually kind of agree on the Conflicted.
What was that one?
So in the film, there's masks. You can see it in the trailer.
Yeah, masks.
The masks are great. They're cool looking. Like, they are awesome.
Creepy, freaky, deaky.
But they really don't serve a purpose, you know?
Well, it's a tribal thing. They try to put that in the head. They were like, you're on a island in the middle of nowhere, because they don't say exactly where the island is.
Yeah, well, it's a fictitious
island, and
they do have kind of a throwaway line where it's like, oh, the masks have something to do with the locals and stuff. But beyond that, they're cool. But it really felt like somebody showed the director these masks, and he was like, wow, those are awesome.
Yes,
I gotta find some way to put that in my movie.
Yeah, it's just a tribal thing.
They're great.
It didn't work.
Yeah, they're great, but it didn't really fit. It almost makes you think again. Trailers are misleading themselves, and it makes you think, oh, is there some kind of slasher aspect to this movie? You know, it's not necessary for what they use them for, I don't think. Do you have any negatives besides?
Ain't too proud to beg.
Come on.
What?
It's not funny anymore.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not trying to be
references.
Still, nothing.
There's no explanation of anything.
That was a negative for me, the exposition. There's not a lot of exposition in it.
If they would have taken, it's a 2-hour movie. Yeah.
Or it's either there's not enough exposition, or they try to cram it real quick. Oh,
they try, exactly. Yeah. They don't, it's like, okay, we should take this thing that's a paragraph, and then we're going to shorten it to one sentence. Yeah. And we're going to rewrite it, give it to the director. The director's going to go, oh, Mr. Jones, can you do the... No, they were so quick to explain that they could not explain it.
Yeah.
No, it was...
Oddly, if you watch the film, that kind of makes sense. I get you. For my negative, I learned that every shot in a film needs to be in service of the film, of the plot, of the story. And there is a lot that I feel like is not.
Yeah.
And it's what drags it out to 2 hours, and it doesn't need to be.
What are your qualifications?
Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague, and I had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it.
I'm going to give a quick film history lesson.
I would listen to this if I was you. Trust me. Listen to this. Because this is what makes me understand is the guy that goes and watches a movie, listen to what he says.
What do you think of this?
All right. So film started out during the Great Depression as escapism.
Yes.
That's what film started out as, okay?
Get away from the world you're in.
Exactly, because of what was going on during the Great Depression. I 100% believe in film as an art, okay? But if you're going to release a film commercially, then it should be in service of its true intent to the audience, which is escapism. Most of this film belongs in an art gallery or something. It's an experiment. A lot of it is an experimental film, and it should not be released to us as something to escape. What happened to just making films with good stories, good acting? I mean, why does everything have to be about agendas and basically for people to say, look at my creative genius? Like, yeah,
what I can do.
There was cool stuff, cool
Look what I
shots
can
in
do.
there. Yeah. But yeah, this is the type of film, and I see it a lot lately, where it's experimental stuff that's being thrown into commercial films. If that's what you're into, great, fine. But it just, to me, like, it gets away from what film, and that's why I gave a little history lesson. It gets away from what film was intended to be, as escapism, as entertainment. Yes, it can be art, but there's separate places for film art forms, like at art galleries and stuff. That's for experimental films. I want to see stuff that it was intended for. I want to be entertained. I want to be like Don. I want to turn my brain off. I want to enjoy the story. I don't want to have to sit there and be like, okay, I got to rewind that. I think I get what, you know what I mean? Like,
even when the Mona Lisa was being painted, I'm sure Leonardo da Vinci brought friends over, and they were like, it sucks. It's not that good. He never finished it. We know that. I don't know how to explain this film.
Yeah. It's people that take, I think I get what you're saying. Leonardo da Vinci was probably just sitting in his house, just made a painting, and never intended it to be on this pedestal that we put it up to be. You know, like, is she smiling? Is she not smiling? What's she looking at? Like, all these little things that we're like, I feel like in film, people are so quick to like dive into the little details, like the director meant to do that. And I can tell you from making films, a lot of it happens by pure fucking accident. But people look into the meanings.
That kills my shoulder. You're right. I'm sorry.
But people look into the meanings like, oh, well, he must have been thinking this when he did this scene. And it's like, no, like, and then people are like, well, I'm going to start making films that way.
Thank you! Like, right there! I'm sorry, I don't mean to be that guy. But that's exactly what happens. It's like, well, this film was done this way, and they made $14 million off of it. Yeah. I can do that too. And they start doing it. And it's like, shut the...
Why can't I say fork?
If you're trying to curse, you can't hear.
That's bullshit.
That's what I was saying. Like, it feels like a way for people to say, look at my creative genius. Look at how big. Look at how big my brain is.
I can do it better than the other director. Yeah. I can do it better than the other director.
Instead of focusing on the story, let's just have cool, wild, experimental shots in it, and let's make the story do this and then go this. And okay, we got to stop because we're just gonna get off.
We're gonna run. We're gonna rant.
I think a good balance of a film that we watched recently that kind of has that artsy but still was a good film, developed story, was Hellraiser, the new Hellraiser.
Yes.
I thought, rode that fence.
Yeah, cat on the fence, baby. Cat on the fence, left of the right.
Rode that fence pretty well. So, okay. So, like I said, we just got to stop or we're going to keep ranting. So, we're going to do this differently. I'm going to guess your Juhl rating. What your Juhl rating?
Well, this is really bad because we kind of already showed the viewer how we feel about it.
How we feel about it, sure. But,
okay. But we're going to do this one time, and that might make it interesting for the next one. So, what do you think my rating is?
I think this will still be interesting because you could either give it a 0 for a turd or a 1. I think you give it a turd. I think you give it a 0.
Okay. Before I give mine, I'm going to give yours so they know.
Okay.
So you're either a 0 or a 1. Okay. Guess what? Pa-pam!
Okay, you're going to go with...
I'm not going to give it a chance.
Is this your second head up the ass award, I think?
Yeah, my second. This is the biggest and best award we can give to anybody. It's called the Head Up Your Ass Award. Oh my God, that kind of hurt, but that works.
I wouldn't quite give it the Head Up the Ass award. I don't
What?
I don't know that I would I'm right on the fence of a 1 and a 0. Because I think there was a really cool idea in there. So for that, I want to give it a 1 and not give it a complete turd. I think we can agree. I mean, like we said, it's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler. It's about cloning.
Yeah.
And I think there was a cool story in there somewhere.
I agree with you. I told you there's some positives I really loved. But Infinity Pool, it's the infinity that they can keep making clones. Infinity, they're going to go after your money and all that. And that's like a great idea. But after 2 freaking hours, there's no closure. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
Closure, 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 closure. The closure that I feel in bones in my teeth. Closure, 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 closure for you and for me.
That's why I, like you said, that idea alone, this infinity pool cloning, there's a story in there somewhere.
They just didn't do it.
They just didn't do it. But I wouldn't watch it again. I wouldn't recommend it. So I guess based on that, I got to give it a turd.
Boys,
turd.
Boys and girls, I'm going to tell you right now, we had 4 movies we wanted to watch this week. Oh my God, I cannot believe we flipped a coin on this. It didn't work.
So we've been trying to do like fan fiction. This movie is really hard to try and give a fan fiction because of the misdirection. There's so many ways that they could have gone. I could give you a bunch, and then we'd be here for another hour.
Yeah.
So I think we'll just skip the fan fiction.
We're done with that. Yeah. And just we were ready to do it, and the movie just.
The movie is just. I can't even. I thought long and hard.
Long and hard
about just recommendations. So we usually try to give a similar movies to watch if you do enjoy it and you're like, I want to keep up watching movies that are similar to that. We try to give recommendations. The closest thing that I could even think of that's pulling at strings even is a film called Ready or Not. And the only reason I recommend that movie is because this movie is a little bit of a satire on the rich class and that, if you have money, you can basically get away with whatever you want.
And then go back to acting normal.
And
little spoiler there.
And then so Ready or Not just kind of plays with that satire on the rich class of getting away with whatever you want if you have money. Completely different movies. I would put Ready or Not way up here as a phenomenal film.
I haven't even seen it, and I would agree with you.
Yeah, and so they're just completely different. But that's as best as I could even come up with. I didn't want to not have nothing.
I'm sorry, you know me. If a movie sucks, it's hard for me to hold back. And this, just
Here you go. To let you know how bad this movie sucked.
Oh, you're gonna make me more upset. Thank you. Continue. Piss me off. Go for it.
When it came time to watch this movie, me and my wife, I told her, I was like, hey, I got to watch this movie to do the channel. Do you want to watch it with me? She didn't even watch the trailer. She looked at the fucking picture and she was like, no, I'm good. I'm out. She's like, this movie looks like it's going to be stupid. She read the synopsis. And
looked at the DVD,
she
kind of thing.
Looked at it and was like, "I'm good. I'm out. I'm gonna go in the bedroom and watch something else."
Oh my God, that's just movie.
It was a movie. Well, I'm done with you too. Not you guys. But I'm done. We're done with this.
We love you very much.
Yeah, I'm ready to get out of here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. We appreciate it. If we've earned it, please do it. We appreciate it. As Don always says, hit the bell. Although he hasn't been saying it lately. I've been.
Gotta do everything, see?
Yeah, hit the bell. Hit the bell.
Hit the bell. All right, man. Well, that's all I got.
That pissed me off that much. It really did.
Hey, bad films make for good videos, right? We got to get out our anger, right?
Okay, I had to get out my anger too. Please, please, please keep watching. Oh my God, because now I'm begging because I'm afraid we're gonna freaking suck as much as this freaking video or this movie did.
All right.
All right.
Close
it out. Close it out. Get us out of here. Get us out of here. Don's gonna show up on the news.
I'm trying. If you let me.
I will.
All right,
dude,
guys.
I'm flush.
We are out of here. I'll throw up some other videos. Check us out, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Peace.
Ow. That hurts. Okay.